Good morning. Coming to you live at 0800 hours, 5 minutes, Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. How everybody doing? Now that I've done it live in a while. But just getting a lot of revelation on so much things. The last time I gave you a good amount of revelation, and then the time after the last live, got interrupted. My been taking a turn for the greatness. We all are great. I want you to know as a man you are great. But I titled this one Hatred. The hate we love. I'm noticing hate is being breeded. The easiest way to see it, if you're a competitor, I don't have to beat you up, put you down. I don't have to do anything towards you to go against you. I mean, in a competition. And in my life, I don't go against people. I don't go against no man, don't matter the race, my own man, my family, the young men in my. I don't go against them. You know why? Because I look at what they got is what they got through hard work and effort. Or they even let's say they didn't even work hard. Let's say I got a friend, he ain't work hard for the things he have, and he got them. Cool. And people say, well, you don't know what he behind closed doors. Well, I'm literally watching his life. Like literally, he's showing me his life. He's basically showing me who he is through the actions of what we do. I can when you play a sport with my analogy, because most men and some women understood it. I even spoke to a woman. She was like, it was sad the way how I talked about how a woman pick a man like an NBA draft, and they got the combine. You go through amateur or pro. You go amateur, semi-pro. You got the development league. You got overseas, and she understood it. And she was like, that's funny that I actually understood everything you was talking about. I was like, yeah, because I was going to find a way to make you understand it anyway. Not make you understand it, but try to guide you. And as you notice, that's what I guide. And what I noticed so far is the hatred. I'm learning like we're breeding hatred. Nobody thinks about that child when the child is in the womb. And we got to start really putting our mind in that. Like, we really got to be, I hate saying the word because it got the word con in it, but you got to be consciously or concentrating, even that. Those words, I think those are so funny. But you got to be able to use it, quote unquote, consciously seeking to understand what you're doing is wrong or is going to have a cause and effect. I hate using wrong and right. When some people want to argue with you or debate, it has to be a wrong or a right. And as they're debating you, I keep telling them, I'm not trying to beat you. They'll look at me or they'll stop. Like even if you got a girlfriend and you're trying to court her and move on, and or you married and y'all get in a discussion to understand, she's trying to beat you. And one time I had to stop. I had to tell the last woman I was getting to know, which I'm not talking to no more, is I'm not fighting you. I'm not here to go against you. I don't know what happened. You don't tell me everything, so I don't worry about it no more. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not here to fight you. I'm here to have a discussion of our differences. You was raised one way, you went through things a certain way. I was raised one another way and went through things. Sometimes you can find in the top certain topics, you snap your fingers. It's like bam, you agree. Then there's going to be topics where you don't agree on, and that right there, I enter those discussions. I don't say conversations because the word con. I don't enter those discussions because I enter those discussions to learn about you now. Because here's a EG EI example. Woman asked me, "What would I do if a woman was getting attacked by a man?" And I'm up here saying, "Okay." She said, "Okay, a black woman getting attacked by a white man." I said, "Don't matter how you change the scenario." And this is the funny part. I was just playing God of War, and his son was on his back. The new God of War, the most recent one. I don't know. It's another one. I don't think it's another one after that. He had his son. He had a son with the lady, and they end up his the and this one showed They showed us how his mother died. The guy Kratos, he made a with the last lady, and it showed how he made a child, and that's what the other ones was about too. He had a son already. Now his son is 10 years of age, and he was climbing up the mountain. But in this scene, I love how the gameplay is because it's not really a stop scene. You kind of like talk and play through the scene. So that's like the next generation games, which I love. Is it's a You can see the game loading at the bottom, but you still can interact with the environment. You still can change if you want to pull out a weapon, take off a certain. You still can interact while the game is loading that scene, but the scene is playing through. I love that the new playthrough. They say the no inception of it, not con. I don't like the word con again. The conception. So the inception of it, you can play through, so you don't have to stop. And so basically, that's what the game was doing, and it was watching them kill off the guy. He's like, "Father, should we go help them?" And it was funny how I seen that before I met her. Did that come out before I met her? Probably did or didn't, but my had my same idea, but I didn't say it the same way as Kratos. Kratos said, "Son, I don't know the fears of this man. I don't know what he's done to deserve and earn that." So but a woman will not look at the overall, because this is what she told me. She told me, she said, "You wouldn't protect her." I said, "It's got nothing to do with the woman." And she gave me scenarios. She said, "What if that's that woman that ignored you all year? You said hi to her, she ignored you, and all these things." I say, that's not my choice. I told her, "You only looking at one option. See, your own option is for me to help her." Now, what we have to do now as the man that's going to protect anybody, what I have to do is I got to outweigh my danger. Now, let's go back. There's a cause and a effect. There is very few reasons you getting attacked by a person. Nobody just walk up to people and attack them. There's few, but the media try to stream it. What's the word? They try to force it through and saying that these people are just getting attacked. Like when they had the knockout game or the slap game, people walk people knocking people, punching people to knock them out. That was a rare occurrence, because if you watch the video, I even seen some of the same people, and then they had the fight game. So it was like people became those were the same people, but nobody noticed that. Just like what I'm doing with the Los Angeles Lakers right now. Like saying LeBron's not playing defense. I peep game, LeBron didn't. But if you watch the start of the season, I started to understand, because LeBron said this. He said, the media go spin it how they want. He didn't say that, but this is the media gonna spin it how they want. All the media outlets. LeBron talked about practice and the young guys and their distractions. It made me think about what he was talking about. But I already noticed this, because as soon as they brought up LeBron defense, I was very can't think of the word to use for that one. Intrigued or entombed. I was watching other basketball games when I would watch like other guys that was so called better than him was like doing the same thing. I'm not saying I'm tit for tat, but I was like, how come we bagging on LeBron this year so hard? Because he went to LA. I was like, he went there to for his family. He always had property in LA, and he wanted to expand his business. So I can see why he's working on somebody else's business, the NBA, the association. He's working on his own business. I was like, that's commendable. They thought he wanted to be Hollywood. Well, that's part of his business. That's where had his agency out there. So for him to say that didn't never make sense. See, people spin things. You gotta start thinking. Think about where I'm getting to now. People are spending the narrative the way they want. And he did all these things from Akron, Ohio, did the schools to help the people, help the quote unquote black women, African descendant women be stronger. They don't even talk about that no more. So that's funny too. They don't talk about his wife, how he don't cheat, his son and kids stay out of trouble. They don't talk about that. When they go personal, they get personal, but they don't talk about that. They talk about the off court. So that's no longer about basketball. And they get personal about his life. But then they don't attack it too much because no man that's talking about LeBron, I even tell the young dudes, I said, you focus on another man. Think about that. Another man and what he's doing on and off the court. What's that saying about you? And so they're going to talk about him not playing defense. So I had to do some little research, but I noticed something. The young core he's talking about that's being distracted off of court and not practicing, he's saying their work ethic is not very high. Boom, boom. It's my spider sense is going off. Their work ethic is not very high. Their work ethic is not very high. I'm training. They out partying during the season. Hold on. We missing that part. Nobody want to pay attention. So that's saying I'm being a good dude, but he out there sowing his royal oats. But he's not even, to me, there's not a respectable way to be a man and it's to have sex with a whole bunch of multiple women and then get into multiple women pregnant. That's not no respect. But then if you like keeping yourself checked, that's something with respect in you. You keeping yourself checked from STDs and diseases that's out there that everybody can catch. Don't matter. You're not immune to nothing. And you letting a woman know, I got a girl, I got another lady. See, and I know dudes that done that. But then I learned in some aspects they do lie. Because it's this one woman that they're trying to keep. So I'm noticing that about women, my African descendant women, they've been doing this for centuries and centuries. They've been picking the best man, but that's another story. So nobody's catching on how. So I started like the last 4 games, this recent game, Kyle Kuzma had pushed LeBron to go out there and run defense. The guy missed a shot. Then I started looking at Kyle Kuzma's stats. Kyle Kuzma out of 64 games had good 10 solid games. He had 0 blocks in the game before it was one game. It was like 64 game. The 63rd game he had a block. The 62nd game he had 0 blocks, and he was shooting poorly. I mean poorly. And now the count of LeBron on offense. See, in the beginning of the year, I don't know what happened, and it's practice. LeBron said a distraction in practice. These dudes are being left wide open. They did it last game. Before the Clippers game, the Los Angeles Clippers games they just recently did not succeed in and not win that one. They did the numbers. LeBron gave out of 80 possessions when he had the ball, out of 35 times, players was wide open. I mean, I had that wide open to me is hand down, man down. Or if you got to gather up so many steps to get to them, that's open. And so I went back to check. And out of them 35, they missed 21 shots. Think about the math on that. Think of the average and the percentage. If I can make an open shot, most NBA players, the reason they're in the NBA, I remember Dominique Wilkins said, you should be able to shoot 70% wide open. And that's what he meant. Like 70%, the man got to gather so many steps to come block you. And if his hand down, if you rising up and he going like this and he never put his hands up or he's not doing this, he's not jumping at you. And he just staying here and you rising up and you releasing and he's still just standing in front of you. That's an open shot. He said that because you're not being challenged. Non-challenge shot, you should shoot 70%. And he even said you should shoot 60 then. To the most, 60% wide open. Wide open or open non-contested shots. You should shoot 60%. I dropped it down 10%. I said, okay, I can see some error because I'm not going to make 70%. Because back then it kind of did make. And we do shoot better now. Now what I did the study on that we shoot the ball better back in the day, and they thought that we got more possessions. And when I did the math back in the day, they would get like 100 and the average like 100, let's say 100 possessions. Our average now is only 80 possessions. Think about that. They would get 100 in our average and have a lower score. It was like they had a 3-point line. Well, when they introduced the 3-point line, that didn't change it. You getting 20 less possessions than the back in the day. So think about how many shots they could have made. Because you gotta remember, a lot of teams wouldn't shoot in 60% as a whole. Some players were. You had the Wilts, then you had the Bill Russells, the Oscar. They were shooting 60%. Dominique was shooting 60%. Like certain guys, Alondra, like certain guys are shooting 60% or better from the field. From the 2-point line at 3-point, farther away or close. We don't differentiate. The word is being different. Differentiate from where you shoot the ball. And so, as she wanted me to protect this woman, I don't different myself. I asked myself, what harm am I putting myself in? And she gave me the scenario in so many ways before she allowed me to answer it. She said, he had a gun, this, and that. And that's exactly what I told her. And she stopped talking to me. She thought that was so wrong. I said, that's not my woman in the first place. Somehow, African descent, quote unquote, black women here expect men to protect them, no matter what the hell they do to them. And I tell women, I'm not to bash y'all, to belittle you or degrade you. I don't have disdain, but I have an understanding my life is just as important. You don't care when you, and women don't want to think this. They think this is petty, or they think this is a weak or beta male talking. No. If you ignoring me, you ignore me. I don't mean saying, I say hi. I mean, you didn't take my advances. I'm not talking about advances. It's, I see you every day. And I speak to you, say, hi, how you doing? And you literally don't say nothing back. You look away, you look down, act like you ain't hear me. Or I say it again, and it's like, oh, okay. And I keep doing it, and I do it just to see if you're going to respond. After a while, you're showing me that some reason you don't like me. You have a understanding that that's okay. That's very disrespectful. I don't know. I would never, if I had a daughter, I tell my daughter, you ain't got to allow every man to talk to you. But damn, you see a dude every day. I seen you, if we work at a place and we worked there 2 years. So let's say 1 year, for 365 days, I almost seen you for 365 days, give or take take away some days based on snow days or days off the weekend. Basically, I work with you. And I say hi to you and you can't say nothing back. What you think the least the chances is that I'm going to help you if you walk past me and you drop something on the floor? Well, the man in me might just automatically do it. But after a while, if things keep coming up just as you keep ignoring me, what you think is going to happen to me? Or you think I'm going to do? I'm going to say, damn, that respect is not garnished in this lady. And then don't allow, now I find this very, very funny. I remember a woman told me black men don't protect black women. I'm going to use black in this case. I laughed. And we was talking. And I said, that's really important to you. She said, yes. Well, she set herself up. And this is just to show her how kind of idiotic how she sounded. What I did was, she was married. That's the kicker. I said, oh, that's your husband? She said, yes. So I walked up to him. I said, how you doing, sir? I knew your wife for a while. He's like, oh, cool. Took him by his shirt. And I said, I forgot what I said to him, like strongly. And he was shook out of his ass. And I let him go. I let him go. I wiped off his shirt. I was joking. I was like, sir, I was just proving a point to your wife. And she was black. She was decent looking black woman. And you just told me he protect and provide you. And I said, sir, listen to me now. Your wife just told me you protect her. You provide, that's great. I'm not messing with your income. I wouldn't dare touch that. I can't dare talk about what degree or how hard you work. I know we in America. I know there's some this discrimination when it comes to me and you, sir. But when it comes to this part, there is no separation. We're together on this. I said your wife used the word protect. I just hemmed you up to see how you respond. And when I did that, I kind of pushed her. I was going to see was he's going to get angry at me to defend her. She said that black men don't protect and provide. He kind of like he kind of like he said, "Well, that's not true." And his wife, she looked at him like, because I can imagine how they. I'm thinking this was one of those white dudes that was chill with black guys. I call all white people racist, but I don't mean you can be. People say, "OJ, you racist." I said, spell out the word race is too. It's a T. Racist. Race is to who? Who's going to win the race? I say if black power and speaking on black things and giving black women the truth is being racist, I'm gonna be racist all day because I know how the race go. And what she failed to realize, protect was a physical protection too, because she said protect and provide, because he put a roof over her head and this and that, and I think that's very weak of her. When I see quote unquote black women saying that other races protect, I think they're weak because when I think about it, they don't work. I call it the kiss ass syndrome, the kiss ass syndrome, like the kiss ass syndrome, because I'm not kissing your ass to provide for you. We either gonna work together or not. If we don't have a child, which I'm gonna meet a woman, or I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna know what I'm putting in that atmosphere. One without a child, I don't want her to work. I want her to be the best mother we can have for our child. And if she's working, I want us, if she get off work at night late, I want to make sure she's getting home safe. If we don't have a car or a car get down, somebody better walk you to the car. Make sure you get on if I'm near, wait for me. If I get off work, if I'm not there, whatever is going on, we're gonna do it together because I'm there to protect her. And in that instance, I told her and her, like, that's protection. He didn't protect you. So stop giving me that BS talk that other races of men protect you. Providing is a whole different level. Y'all talk and I learned about my own women, when they talk about providing, they want this. If I work, you wouldn't talk to a man that don't work or let alone work at a restaurant. And some restaurants is not bad restaurants. Some guys get paid good money. You could be a manager. They pay for a lot of things. Like if you had a child and let's say you used to like, okay, I'm not going back to school. I'm working on other things, but my child is here. They have a scholarship program where since you've been working there, you could give your child a free ride to school and they have extra money to go to school. See, we don't think like that. That's the point of this is why I'm calling it hatred. I know when I go do these, y'all look at him like he's not talking. I'm talking about the topic. This is the hatred we love. This is the hatred we're breeding. But we're not going to breed knowledge and education. We're not breeding that. People talk about we got first time millionaires and going on. Let me get before I get to that. The moral of the story was I was letting her know what happened to me if I protect that black woman. And I said, what if I lose my hands or my arms? I get badly injured. I said, who gonna help me? You know what she said? She said, God. I know you probably heard this one. But this one was very insightful, very revealing to me how she thought about me in the first place. But that one nigga that she loved, for some odd reason, she should have had much hatred for her. He did her wrong, but somehow she loved him. So I want to say too, that was the part of the hatred that we're breeding. I don't know how and we're not seeing past it. If anything, we should start breeding education and knowledge. Start taking your children to the library or your nieces, your nephews, your cousins that's younger than you, even ones that's the same age. We should be having. everybody I know, nobody I know, even them knowledgeable people don't have a library card. I'm sitting here. I was the person growing up that hated reading. I hated studying. Now look at me. My books and stuff over there. I cleaned off everything. But look at me. I'm the one now. I'm getting more revelation than I go read in the study to make sure the revelation correct. And then people will say, OJ, where'd you get this from? They call me OJ. It's my nickname, Ota Jr. And I say, it's revelation. I'm just backing it up with the same information that you're reading or that you didn't read yet. And I say, go read that. That's where I got it. I didn't get it from that, but the revelation came. It's like they start comparing me to like a Marcus Garvey and all. I was like, I never read a Marcus until this day. I never read a Marcus Garvey book and all these other great black leaders we have. I barely listened to Martin Luther King and Malcolm because certain things I hear, you know what they told me? They said we should be more on the pavement now. I listen to them to get information because you know what I learned about listening to people? I don't want to become them. I want, they say Martin Luther King have a dream. We still haven't fulfilled that dream. I have a dream all day, boys and girls. No, we still in a world that we haven't fulfilled. We're not even close. Hate is more sprouted more and is seeded and breeded more than ever. And we thinking somehow we gotten better. We haven't. So until we put the seed of education and knowledge, education is not just college. Education is picking up like the book. You can pick up a book called the Bible. You can pick up the book called the dictionary all day. Because the Bible gonna have words in there that the Bible gonna have words. And it's funny how I go to Savior. And it said one who saved, Christ Savior. I cannot make this up. How I just opened this up and there's no bookmarks. There's no nothing for some. This is the middle of the book, so I'm automatically gonna get these pages. But it's funny. If you can see this, if you can see the word Savior, how it goes to Savior. See, y'all can call me crazy. You all can say anything you want. That right there showed me the truth. It's nothing to do with our Christ Savior. It's just I was talking about the Savior. I was bringing up Savior, and it went right to that word. This happened to me a lot. So you can call me crazy, but I just want you to start checking out your heart. Stop worrying about social media in the world. They're going to breed. So YouTube is breeding us to hate our women, and the women are fault. The women is being breeded to hate. I can type in black woman interracial swirling out of a race. It's like 100 YouTube channels. It's over 100 for the men. You can tell when you hear the men talk, they're just so angry. We're not in hip hop magazines. We're not in the black men magazines. We're not in the black people publishing magazines. As the black women, they're in all these white magazines talking about shortage of black men no good. They're going on CNN. They're going on MS. They're going on national TV. But then what we would do, and then the black women that own black stations or that's kind of co-partner like Oprah, they'll go on Yana Fix My Life and then go to black men and say, why don't you like black women? It was a whole episode. And these was, I'm quite sure the dudes agreed it because they probably paid them about $100,000. I probably agree to do it too. But that was already kind of in their heart. And so Yana was striking matches with their heart, with the questions. Of course, you're going to get a little fired. That's what we don't understand. If you keep striking match, and if a black woman keep dissing me, a lot of men will turn angry. But I was like, the creator was like, don't worry about a woman. You don't have no reason to get angry at her. She's being who she is, and she's not for you. If she was for you, she would have seen the greatness in you. But she only see the greatness in herself. What I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path, it's your journey, choose wisely. If you didn't get that last analogy, think about that. The people you are with, the people are you around. might determine who you're going to become. Shalom.